Hello, hello, and welcome to All Our Pieces. We've got an exciting poem for you and a variety of topics today. We hope you enjoy it. I'm Judy Faust, and this is...
Oh, I'm Cathie Bomba.
Cathie, tell us about that incredible poem you're going to fire away at us.
Well, this is a story about the blizzard of '78, which I'm sure a lot of you remember. And the anniversary of the blizzard is this February 6th in a few weeks. It'll be the 40-year anniversary. So that's what the poem I'm reading is about, the blizzard of '78.
Take it away.
Okay. This is called The Bizzard and Me. Good thing I was in shape for the blizzard of '78. Ran 10 miles a day throughout my high school years, class of '77. Now 18 years old and a nursing student. Felt I could help out at the hospital I trained at, only 2.5 miles away. Everyone was stuck where they were when the storm hit, and walking was the only way to go anywhere. People who could not get out of their cars covered in snow died. On the shore, houses flooded so rapidly people couldn't get out. People were brought to hospitals by police on snowmobiles. Even fire trucks got stuck. No one knew what was coming. No Doppler radar then. Already 20 inches of snow that was forecast as rain. The Massachusetts meteorologists were put to shame. No cell phones, no computers, no Facebook or tweets. Snow falling 2 inches an hour and getting deep. With gusting winds causing snowdrifts 9 feet high, everything looked eerie outside. Where were you in the blizzard of '78? I'll tell you where I was. My boots tended to leak, so I put plastic bags in each. I put on an old wool coat, cloth hat and gloves, no Thinsulate or water-resistant attire back then. Told my mother I was leaving to do what must be done. Had to leave by second-story door, as the first one opened to nothing but a wall of snow. Walked into the white desert, like a sandstorm but with snow. Old familiar landmarks were gone. Our newly shoveled driveway filled again. Waist steep I walked to the street. 1 plow blade thick was how the road was. A narrow road with high snowbanks on each side. If it was the road, still 10 inches deep. Telephone pole street lights turned on at noon as if it was night. So I followed the street lights, at least they were on, because everything else familiar was gone. With gusts so strong, I had to stop and hold on to a mailbox, a street sign, a fence. I said to myself, I'll turn around if it gets too bad. There was a force inside of me leading the way, like a glowing candle, never put out by any storm. There was no one on the streets I walked, and no one knew I was there. White surroundings, wet snow landed on my coat and stayed there. The snow was in a fury, blazing like a spreading fire, coming down, then up, then all around. My face became so numb I cried. Plows were stuck in the snow, a strange sight to see, being towed or left to sit. They were using the bigger plows now for this type of snow. I made it to the street of the hospital, where the ground was much more even. There were yellow blinking lights up high, with that backward sound of beeping. It was a huge vehicle collecting snow. Thought it was far, but it was very close. I moved to the side of the road. The street lights turned red and green and red again in that automatic dance with no cars to obey it. I stopped to look around, just being there. I felt its stillness filled me alone in the storm. The stillness felt like an emptiness, but without a void, eternal, like us all. I made it to the hospital, took the stairs to the floor I trained on. 5 nurses were in a break room, smoking and conversing in a circle, their backs to me save one. I called to them from the hall, "I'm here to help out." The one who saw me was the same nurse I had confronted the day before with a huge medical error she had made. She gave me a look that stung and said, "You're not staff here. Go back to where you came." I wasn't going to stand and argue. As I began to melt, my coat became a heavy pelt. Was not expecting this part of the journey. How could she just say no? I knew I had to make it back or I'd be stuck in the snow. Breathing heavy with the exertion, my sweat now clinging to my clothes. A blasting wind did not help my cause as it pressed against and blinded me. Making it through the deep and uneven snow, because of the drifts below, I followed the telephone poles. My thighs became burning in like automatic machines, like the rest of me. My arms balancing me on this uneven terrain. I fell down a few times, but I got up quick, not wanting to become part of the scenery. I made it to my street, only 8 houses left, when I felt the shaking earth underneath my feet. It was so intense, it shook all of my cells. I heard the blade hit the road behind me. I had no time to look. Felt the change in the pressure of the air. That was all that it took. I knew I was in trouble. I had no time to think. Flung my body up into the nearest snowbank in one leap. The force inside was helping me, because I don't know how I got up there. Felt the whoosh of blade very near and pulled my feet in. Now in the snowbank, I dug my way out. Snow was everywhere on me, but now I didn't care. It got pushed underneath my hat and coat. Lost my glove and boot in there. I fell into the street. The snowbanks were that high. Still not sure how I got up there in time. Took off my wet and heavy coat as it became a burden. I was determined to make it home now. It was easy to walk on this flat paved road. Limping on my foot without the boot, with the plastic bag around it, one arm with wet coat around the other side off hip, the force inside of me began to grow. I knew that we were one. I knew that nothing could plow me down now, even if I had to leave a boot behind and was limping. Where were you in the blizzard of '78? That was where I was.
Well, that's neat. Thank you. That's so neat. I liked your idea, too, of inviting people to tell us your story. Maybe you have a poem. You can do that on the ActonTV site on YouTube, or you can email me, well, we might share it.
People have such amazing stories about what happened to them in the blizzard of '78. It was such an unusual time for all of us, and great stories from it.
So, shall we
Yes.
continue? Okay, so it's still January, but here's a really short piece that I've written a while ago. It's called January 1st Thought. Sweet tomorrow mystery, Christmas present constantly. Every morning gently unfolds new wings to heal. So that's how I look at January. If you don't mind going across, did I miss one? Oh, I did. Okay. Philosophy 100. This is a poem I wrote in 1970. Man, we are dating ourselves.
I know.
It's all right.
It's okay.
Some things never change.
We're good with that.
I wrote this when I was at the University of Hartford. Okay. Philosophy 100, 1970. Philosophy 100 is burdened with the why of life. Professor Sanford paces ceaselessly at the front of the class, greasy hair shaken with thought, horn-rimmed glasses punctuating questions blue paisley tie conflicting with plaid green pants. He seems to be the typical professor, confused and concerned with thoughts of other previous professors. Their ideas and words are like different planets that wander through the universe searching for inhabitants. I wasn't that nice, when I was 18 or 20. I just critical of everything. So I've got a few good ones of that nature here.
Yeah.
Now, 10 years later, I didn't change all that much. This one's called The Sporting Goods Show in L.A. I was fortunate enough to be hired by a friend of mine, who Mr. Jogalite, as a matter of fact. And in 1980, I was praying to be able to go to the spiritual convocation in Los Angeles, and well, this is how I got there. So while I was there, I saw things that I never was exposed to, and I wrote a poem about it. 1980, The Sporting Goods Show in LA. Hordes of black jacket shoulders with pendulum arms attached to secret suitcases. Brown, gray, navy array of shiny shoes, spit polished, sinking into showroom carpets. Ladies stroll by with bleached hairdos, mass-produced, dressed like Barbie dolls, half seduced. Fluorescent lights glare for all to see. Papers are signed and filed. Men with toupees weakly smile. Shaking hands, no real friendship bet. For what glorious day do they hope for yet? That's a little nasty. Still kind of feel that way, though.
I think it's very accurate, actually.
It's apropos.
Yeah.
Should I continue with something completely different?
Yes.
All right. From LA show to an apple. Just an apple, not the kind that you
Not the
type
computer.
on. No.
Okay.
1998, apple. Fragrant apple blossoms beckon me onward. I am dizzy with their sweet perfume. Huge cortlands, half buried in wild emerald grass. Opalescent red gems waiting to be eaten. I am Eve in Eden, cradling to the fruit to my breast for benediction. Grateful tears wash away the earthy veil of its surface. I polish the fruit on my sleeve, and then I hold it like a prayer between my lucky fingers. I marvel how the scent of blossom lingers on the fruit, as if to remind me of its creator, like an artist's signature on a work of art. No one has been here before. Imagine that. I mean, right here under this perfectly painted, contrasting colors of red and green skin. No one else has the privilege of this present to sink their teeth into this particular gift on this particular day. And no one else can be my soul concealed by this particular personality cover. As I break the skin with a big bite and the white flesh crunches, yielding to sweetness, I am united with the seed, the orchard, the whole creation. I am nourished by the thought, my work now awaits me. I too am a little apple in the divine orchard. I like food. I like writing about food. Just one more, and then we're going to switch to you.
Okay.
Yeah. This one's short. Still food. It's kind of food and the other good stuff. Leftovers, it's called. Surrendering to the leftover carrot cake, beckoning to me with its happy clouds of yellow sugar. Yeah, I'm going after the carrot that dangles like a mirage on the clear plastic lid. Swiping it off. With my longest finger, I triumphantly plunge its sickening sweetness into my mouth. I'm still hungering for that hunk of man who eyed me so intensely today while we shared lunch that my salad dropped from reality and my words stuck to my throat as I dared ask him, "What are you thinking?" Silence. My fork screeched. He wasn't eating. He kept staring at me. What are you thinking? Maybe he didn't hear. Where was he? Oh, nothing, he replied from some forbidden realm. After he left, I mentally searched for his visions and cleared the table of our plates and mugs. Empty-handed, I ate all his leftovers. Sometimes that's all you get. Okay. Enough of me already.
Oh, that was
more.
Great.
Go ahead.
Right. This one is, more on a serious note. In the winter, a lot of people become depressed, and there can be a rise in domestic violence. So this poem is about, it's called Survival, and it's about surviving domestic violence. There is a stranger in my house where my husband used to be. I don't know how he got there. Must escape my daughter's fate unsealed. Yet grace so thick for us to rest on. A claustrophobic feeling of walking on eggshells that are already broken, trying not to step on yoke. And then he'll know my trying to escape will not rest until I'm done, trying to keep my daughter's fun. They're too young to know this, and yet they do. I cannot let them know my plan, feeding him whatever he wants to keep us alive. We are the ones in the cage, my daughters and I, while he freely roams the house, not knowing what is best, unpredictable at best, having to be it all for this not family of mine. I tried to keep us together for too long at the cost of myself and my daughters. Thinking time will heal all, it doesn't, if he chooses not. I must hold him as he cries. I am only half his size. Till death do us part, not for us to die. It is not our time. An angel surrounds me, short and stout and strong, with a sword that duels him and causes him to back down so we can leave. Gnawing through my cords of love, scattering me to hysteria. This is what my children see, a side effect of the unreality of my own life. This man who shows so well on the outside, who I must outsmart for us to live.
Wow. Wow. Well, here you are.
Domestic violence is very prevalent, but it's kind of can be insidious at the same time. So I just thought this was a good thing to read for the winter time.
How did it feel to write it?
It's very cathartic. A lot of it was about outsmarting so we could get out and not be seriously hurt. So I've read it many times. The Domestic Violence Services Network in Concord that serves this area. It's part of their training manual now.
Wow.
Yeah, I trained there, and so yeah, it's a real thing that goes on, but you can get out of there and be healthy and live and evolve and reclaim your own life. It's possible. It's very possible.
Wow, it's a tough course. Okay, shall I continue?
I'm a tough broad.
You're a tough broad. You're a tough broad. Do you have any other poems?
No, that is it.
Okay. Oh, well, I just opened up to the perfect one here, I think. Yeah, I was meditating a lot in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and Anyway, there was a lot of wisdom that kind of came out, and then going back and fixing the poem, just making some little tweaks, changes. So here, this one, 1979, use of darkness. I can listen to a room's breath, hear frogs singing beyond the summer screen. I can see the stars and feel their ancient light. I could be still, feel my own being radiate to each limb and body cell. My mind chooses low and on high vibrations. I can sing and soar with joy or indulge and descend into self-pity. I can be aware of possible outcomes or discover my habitual patterns in anger, love, or curiosity. I welcome it all. I believe in both now. I have faith in light, but I understand the use of darkness. It did take a long time to get there, I gotta say.
I like that one.
Have you ever fallen in love with somebody and you just stay in love with that person no matter what, no matter, in the back of your mind, they're always there. This one's called the Blue Smoke Dream. He was there again, dancing with me, dark brown hair, eyes twinkling like sapphires, pale skin with rosebud cheeks, tight golden sweater hugging his long, slim torso, sweat slipping from his perfectly arched eyebrows, blues band stoking the fire of the bar's inferno while we swooned, jammed in a crowd of body hustlers and romance addicts like myself, swaying slow to aching blues beats, me angling my hips to his body, him wondering how much to surrender. I stole a kiss, tasting the sweet sweat of his porcelain neck. Oh, willingly I lost myself in the blue cigarette smoke, in the urgent songs and relentless beat. Unknowingly, I captured the pink neon stage lights that flashed for decades in the dark haunts of my broken heart. Breathless and gasping, I writhe awake and feel the familiar jab of pain of that unfulfilled desire that comes alive again and again in the blue smoke dream. I have a feeling I wouldn't be alone on that one, Okay, here's a different kind of love, the more kind of divine love. Eyes. Yesterday, a robin eyed me, only an arm's length away, a brief communion before her flight. The day before that, 2 ducks paddled in a pond, coming quietly towards me. Not seeking food, they came to me for a better look, like a relative swimming ashore just to wave hello. And then, contented, they glided away. Today, it was a frightened little chihuahua who trembled and yipped in her metal cage. At first, she growled and screeched at me with trembling legs and tucked-in tail. So I sang to her softly, gazing into her bulging brown eyes, until she whined in want of attention, wagging her tail. How little it takes to love. How great the reward, and so instant. All the universe melts into one pair of eyes. So this is an invitation to meditation, really. Come out. Come out. Come out. To this stillness, to hear the mightiest sound of all. Come out. Come out of dark doubts and brooding fears to feel the height of courage. You small self, you. Laugh and know you are the force behind the mountains. Your comic tragedy will fade. Here and now is the Everglade, deep in your heart's silence. Riches unfold far beyond your hungry dreams. It always amazes me, you know, how beautiful life can be when you just are still and present.
Yeah.
This is the good thing about getting old. If it takes that long, it's okay. So, Cathie, what do you think we should do next month?
Well, next month is the month of love with Valentine's Day. I'm going to be sharing another aspect of the Blizzard of 78, since it'll be in that month, and also some poems about the different types of love that there are, and my experience with that. How about you, Judy?
Well, February is my birthday, so
Oh.
I think one of my favorite poems that I ever wrote on my birthday was 40-something, I think it's called. So I may read that poem. It's I would call that poem maybe self-love, celebration of life, that kind of thing. And I certainly have a lot of other romantic Judy Faust Lonely Heart Club band kind of thing. I don't know. So I'll pick a few good ones out of that, I think.
Okay.
And then there's always a few of our divine love, more general kinds of love, brotherly love. We may indulge upon a lot of different types. We may have to do more in the spring. Who knows? Because
Perhaps.
love is long and February short.
Yeah, and there's so many types of love. A lot.
And again, we'd like to hear from you about anything that you've reacted to in this show, anything else you'd like us to cover.
Right.
And we're quite capable of writing a poem on the spur of the moment.
Yes.
It might take us a month, you know, but no, we want a poem about, I don't know, footprints, something. We could do that.
Thank you for joining us. It means a lot to be doing this with you and for you, and we invite your feedback, and if you have, like we said, if you have any ideas you'd like for us to cover, that would be great for us. So thank you for joining us.